Yeah, I guess, I kind of want to take a little step back a little bit more because we never like, actually talk about this like in person too, like off air, I mean. Can you kind of explain like more a little bit more like your process about creating your own like music, non-profit panel, like
Sure, yeah. So that idea came out of, well, two parts. One, it was just boredom from my first job. I was like it was just got to a point in a couple of projects where I like wasn't doing a lot day to day email. And so I'm like, okay, I need to fill my time. And then the other side of it was I just have a bunch of friends that work in the music industry, but that work more so behind the scenes. So audio engineers or photographers, or they work with venues or booking or things like that. And so I was talking to them about that stuff because I'm interested in it. And the common thread that I would hear is it's just difficult for them to like continue to progress their career. Unless you start out like in your early 20s working with like Live Nation or like AEG or like some of these large companies that a lot of them really don't want to work for, like then it's harder to just grow the career yourself because you don't have that like, so we're talking about it here, like that personal business development, like that know-how or that network, or even how to approach getting that network. It seems like second nature to the three of us because we've been through the ringer and in terms of like schooling, and that's just been drilled into our heads for so long. But for a lot of people, it's not like that. So I wanted to create an organization that worked with those people and created like content and programming to help them grow their careers. So we put on a good amount of events. There was like, the first one was like a networking sort of meeting or event where we had a lot of different types of people speak from all different areas and talked about what they did, lessons learned, that type of stuff. We did some events that were like very topic specific for people that wanted to learn more about the space. And yeah, I did a lot on social. I did a lot with the blog, doing interviews with people and just growing it that way. And so I eventually wanted to get like an official 501c6, which is, I think 501c3 is like the normal nonprofit that most people think of, but the 501c6 is more of like a business connector sort of organization where it's able to provide more benefits directly to LLCs or to businesses. And so I wanted that organization to be like a sort of a nonprofit backbone to the Chicago music business industry, where it would be a great like connector for a lot of these businesses. And so I had a pretty cool vision for it, but my interest in it eventually just died out. Like I was starting to build more of a community around it, and that was exhausting. Just like, because I don't know if you guys know about, well, one, like community building, but two, just like Slack stuff or like Discord or that type, like it's a daily thing that you just got to keep at and bring people in on. And most days it's tough. So I was just burnt out, and for a couple months, I kind of marinated on it and things. I had like a newsletter too. There was so much. And then I was just like, all right, I'm done with this. I'm gonna shelf it. And yeah, I turned off auto renewal on my domain for it like a week ago. So that means it's real.
I love that. That's like the sign of a marketer, right? Like how many domains have you had to get rid of? Because that's how you know you.
Oh yeah, I'll just buy up domains. I'm like, that'll be something, and then it's not. Yeah. So no, that was a really fun thing. It was definitely like an itch that I wanted to scratch of like carving out my own niche in the music industry outside of being like a musician or working on the business side. That was a really fun experience. And I met a lot of cool people. Who knows? Maybe it can get brought back. But yeah, I think for the most part, I definitely scratched that itch.
Welcome to The Cabin, a podcast where we interview diverse minds to learn about their paths to building skills and creative confidence. I'm Sid.
And I'm Ibra. Let's dive in.